Hey, it's Friday. Let's get stuck back into the all-time best Premier League 11. For those of you who watched last week and voted, the results are in on the greatest Premier League left winger. Have a guess. Greatest Premier League left winger of all time?
Giggs.
Perez.
Fuck off, Perez. 51% of the votes went to Ryan Giggs. Of course it did. To be fair, 22% was Perez, which was my shout, to be fair.
Perez, man, listen, was an invincible team. What do you mean?
Ed Hazard, 14. Bale, 9.
Perez gets more goals than Giggs as well.
Overmars, 1%.
Giggs in there for his longevity.
Why did we even put him in there?
Giggs is in there.
Just because
Longevity.
he was there for years.
Listen, if you want to carry on the debate, you can go back and watch last week's show. But anyway,
or turn up for it.
Absolutely. Onwards and upwards. We're going to be working on holding mids this week. So first of all, I was going to ask the guys to throw an honourable mention up before they make their actual pick. At the end of the video, you're going to be able to vote by clicking the card, the eye in the corner of the screen, to decide who you want as our Ball Street holding mid. Who's your honourable mention for Premier League holding mid?
My pick or like the one like...
No, the one that you would, you know, yeah, your non-pick.
Petit.
Petit? I'd completely forgotten he existed, I'll be perfectly honest. You guys had a lot. No, but, you know, you guys, when you think of Arsenal holding mids, Manu Petit's not the first one that comes to mind.
He was an unsung hero. That's the whole point.
Well, exactly, yeah.
Because when them days, I was young them days, innit? I was about, what, about 9, 10? And them days, when Vieira would go, Petit would just sit. He'd just sit. And I seen this video with Martin Keown, and even Keown was saying that when Vieira went, Petit would just sit. And he felt like he had no problems defending because Petit was just there, just clearing it all up. And in the same way, if Petit went forward, Vieira would tuck in. But Petit was an unsung hero. And Petit, for me, in that when France won the World Cup, he was one of the main guys in that team.
Yeah.
He was the reason why Deschamps and Zidane could actually go forward, and then he would just sit there and just mop it all up.
Plus, he was brilliant pass for the ball.
Brilliant passer, quality left foot,
Brilliant.
gem of a left foot. Just shame he went down King's Road, you know what I mean? But he's still a legend in my eyes.
A few examples of that. The Ped, what do you reckon is your honourable mention?
Well, I've got two. Lee Carsley. Amazing. Lee Carsley.
Do you just have to do this?
Yeah, I have to do, because he's the player Real Madrid wanted.
No mention for Thomas Gravesen.
And they got Thomas Gravesen as well. And the other one is Joe Parkinson, who was one of my tables on my wedding. Joe Parkinson table. Because I just loved him that much.
Yeah. For those people who, and I mean, like everyone watching, just explain a little bit about Joe Parkinson.
He was just great. He was just a Wigan player who ended up at Bournemouth, and then we bought him, and he was just like, who the fuck's this? And ended up winning the FA Cup with us and destroying fucking Paul Ince all game. And then, just as he was about to get an England call up, his knee just fell apart at 28, and he had to retire. And there you go. It's one of the sad stories of football.
So you're giving him this?
Yeah, I'm giving him this little moment. He would have played for England. He was brilliant.
Okay.
He was like a centre midfielder, just sat there and just did his job. And he was just about to play for England. It was sad.
Okay.
And he ended up one of those players as well who was like, left the game and didn't do anything. And the last time I seen him, he was like plastered.
Walking dogs, looking for dead bodies.
Finding dead bodies, yeah.
Go on, Rob, who's your honourable?
I'm going to go N'Golo Kante.
Okay.
Because basically, if I'm a manager out there and I say to myself, we've got a great team, I want to win the league, but I need a holding midfielder, put Kante there. Leicester, last season, Kante in there, won the league. Kante leaves Leicester near the bottom of the table, goes to Chelsea, they're about to win the league. Reason why? Kante. He's brilliant. When we played Chelsea, I thought they had 2 or 3 extra players. Because everywhere I looked, he was there.
Yeah.
He doesn't just sit in front of the back. He mops up everything.
Yeah.
The guy's energy levels, his fitness is incredible. For a little guy, you know, what I mean, he's proven that you don't have to be a massive lump in that midfield.
He is. Someone will doubtless pick Makelele, and they should do, and we'll come to that in a second. But we talk about players who define roles. I think we're looking at N'Golo Kante starting to redefine what that role requires. And what you're looking at now is, like, Leicester were desperate to replace him. Amati didn't do the job. They went out and bought Ndidi to try and get someone else to do that. You guys have got Garner Gay, and you can say he's in that mould. And it wouldn't surprise me if a number of teams this summer all went out and they were looking for a guy who could do what he can do, and that's pretty much everything, which is incredible. Like,
but I love Kante. That's the biggest mistake Arsene Wenger made in the summer, not buying Kante.
And who said get Kane into the Xhaka? Me.
Did you?
Yeah, last interview. You fucking know I did. Colin was
I know
running
you've
his mouth in
reminded
the
me about
background.
10 times.
So, for my honourable mention, I am going to go with Xabi Alonso. Now, again, there's going to be guys, and I think the guys we're going to pick as
really
our
old,
ultimate
innit?
choices. Well, no, but that's what he sat in front of the back. He was never an attacking
bossed
mid,
the
he was
game
never
when we
box
played
to
Munich.
box. That's why he wasn't a DM, he wasn't a destroyer, but he was a holding mid. He sat
Like a
in front of the
quarterback.
back foot. Yeah, exactly. And I think in terms of his return and what he won, he's never going to be able to compare to the guys who played for Man United and Arsenal in the 90s and this kind of stuff. But still won the European Cup, still won an FA Cup in Liverpool as well. Got to two European finals. And this is the thing as well. You look at what he's gone on to achieve. I mean, he only played. I've actually got it here. He only played 143 games for Liverpool in the Premier League, 15 goals. But again, in terms of the way we always talk about him, what Liverpool have lacked almost since him, his ability, because he's never had pace, never had pace. And people said he wouldn't make it at the top level. He wouldn't make it in the Premier League because of that when he was at Sociedad. But his awareness and his all-round ability and touch of a football, he made himself a yard of space. He could turn in any direction when you pass the ball to him, find himself space to make that next pass, and he always knew where his next pass was going to be. So phenomenal, and again, just about scored a goal in the European Cup final.
You allowed Gerrard to play as well.
Yeah. And the biggest issue Liverpool had when he was there was him and Gerrard, much like the Lampard-Gerrard thing, I don't think they were quite suited to play with each other.
What about
in the
no
midfield.
honourable mention for Gerrard as a holding midfielder?
No, well, no, it'll come on. It will come on to me pick, as I think I've got a vision for this.
It's a slip
of the balance between more holding and more
We don't let
attacking.
this slip. 1 week later.
Hey, that's a sore point around here. Be careful.
I know.
We've
got to get home still.
We've got to get home. We're in the red part.
I like.
You'll be all right, lads. You'll be all right.
See, we're all right. We're good.
Kyle will give you an escort back.
No, but he's more marked man than us.
Yeah. The only bit honourable mention I think is worth. I don't think he'd ever have a chance of winning this, so I don't think he should be put forward as one of the main ones. It's Gareth Barry. In terms of the length of his career, I think he's currently now the player with the most appearances still active in the Premier League. 618 Premier League appearances, 52 goals. He's been going for forever, hasn't he? Now, Pedro, you would have.
Now it's time for him to stop.
What, Barry out?
No interesting.
You can see Pedro Barry out, man.
We were joking about it before. I mean, I've put Xabi Alonso forward.
I like
Benitez wanted Barry more than Alonso.
I like Gareth Barry, but he's not one of those players that you sort of can take to heart. If that, you know what I mean? He's a good player, and he's been great while he's been at Everton. But he's not one of those you just sort of. He comes to us at the wrong age that you can sort of get that bond with.
I think it's telling.
He doesn't elbow people in the face enough.
Well, yeah, maybe that's the. Well, this is the thing. He's got like almost double the appearance of all the other guys who you consider the top people in those positions. Never once voted into the PFA Team of the Year.
Exactly.
You know, won a Premier League, won an FA Cup, but that's what he's had during his time, and then obviously staunch proponent of Everton's midfield in the Bobby Martinez era. Yeah. Okay, let's move on to our actual picks then. Truth, do you want to kick us off? Who are you putting forward as the best Premier League holding midfielder?
It's got to be Makelele.
Without a doubt?
Without a doubt. When Chelsea got him, I was surprised as fuck that Madrid sold him.
Yeah.
I was like, are you man serious? No, this is a joke, right? This is a joke. You know when you turn your TV on and off? And them day it was on digital. So you took out the card, refresh the box to make sure, the thing is working, you get me? I said, 1 minute, this has to be a joke, blood. And then when he
said at the time, innit? He was shocked.
He was like, what? You're selling me? Are you man sure? Me, yeah? Me. And when he went to
weird
Chelsea, he just...
It's you've done all the accents, but you didn't do an accent for Makelele then.
Oh.
I was expecting this weird French accent.
You want to sell me?
It's uncanny.
Are you sure? Oh, no. But then when he went to Chelsea...
That sounds like a Swedish fella.
So now I've got Swedish. But when he went to Chelsea, he changed them. And he was a Ranieri signing, because he was there before Mourinho went there. And he just changed it. He allowed Lampard to go do what you want.
Yeah.
And I think he made Lampard a better player. Because him being around them world-class players in Madrid, he's had a word with Lampard and said, yo, like, certain time you must sit, certain time go. And, yeah, man, Makelele, he was, for me, best ever.
Two
best ever.
Two Premier League titles, one FA Cup, 2 League Cups. 144 appearances, only 2 goals, but then I think that's the point about Makelele, isn't it? Is that they call it the Makelele role. It was defined for a reason.
Yep.
Was a guy whose job was solely to sit in front of the back
put out
four
fires.
and exactly stop the other team from getting past
Yeah.
and scoring goals. So no, I think that's a great shout. Peds, who have you got?
Well, that reason is the reason I don't think he's the best. East.
Because you want more.
Because I want more, and the man to give more is Roy Keane, who is just. He is the best centre midfielder. I don't give a fuck what anyone says. We won 7 Premier Leagues, 4 FA Cups, Champions League, 33 goals as well. He always popped up with important goals as well. And
Only one problem though. He's not a holding midfielder.
but he is though. He is
Not
because he's a
holding
defensive.
midfielder.
No,
No, he's not.
But this is the problem. This position has changed over the
He's a
years.
box
He had a
to
defensive
box.
mind, but he was more box to box.
But he had to.
He's
but-
what you call a classic midfielder, box to
But
box.
he had to settle.
He gets forward. He's at the back.
So in a 4-4-2, he'd be the holding midfielder. He can get about the pitch. He can score the goals. He had that little bit of horribleness as well, which I love in a player. He was a leader. It got the better of him in the end, but that's good because he couldn't. The things in the end, he couldn't. He used to be able to go around and say what he wanted, but when he couldn't back it up on the pitch, that's when Sir Alex knew it was time for him to leave the club. And I think in a way he knew that was right as well. And that for me is why he's the best. And on paper he's the best. And the only one who matched up to him is Vieira because that contest was fantastic. Yeah. That's when like midfielders were real midfielders and he's got stuck in. And I love midfielders who can do more than just one thing.
Yeah.
And it's clouded a little bit now because we all define these roles. But I love it when you used to have a midfielder who was a midfielder who did everything. Yeah. Did everything, could do everything.
And that's the point. I agree with the point. And the point why, again, I've gone for Patrick Vieira is that thing that if you're creating a midfield too, for me, Patrick Vieira has to go into an all-time Premier League 11 because I think 100%. He is the dog's bollocks. And I would have him over Keane just because I think he just had a bit more. He was just, I thought he was a better footballer.
Clearly not.
Well, no, but he didn't play for Man United, did he? Which is not his fault. It's not his fault that he was at Arsenal. But, he was good at Arsenal. He was in a great Arsenal team at the time. Let's just sit here and do this over and over again.
Now listen, you're both talking about box-to-box midfielders, the greatest box-to-box midfielders, both of those two. But holding midfielders, Makelele, Gilberto Silva as well. He was brilliant. Gilberto Silva, the story I was saying to you guys earlier, that when I used to go to Highbury, there was a guy used to sit next to me, always used to moan about Gilberto Silva. Oh, he's not Brazilian. Brazil is supposed to be skillful, silky. And then Gilberto was out for about 6 weeks, injured. And that guy sat next to me, and every other fan, to be fair, were like,
Gilberto's
there's no
that guy.
Gilberto there. They're just running through us.
Yeah.
Because he used to, like you said, he used to put out all the fires. He used to plug all the gaps. He was everywhere. He was just like, he is the original unsung hero. I wish that Arsenal had a player like him right now. We could possibly win the league, and he wasn't like a player that went out there and was putting elbows in and that. Or even when he was doing it, he was so quiet with it that you didn't even realise. And he was just, for me, he was just the perfect, holding midfielder. He was invincible. Listen, that is what you call a holding midfielder.
Michael Carrick? No.
Unsung hero.
Yeah, I think you could put Carrick in there. He's been, I think as the years have gone by, he didn't start off as really as a holding midfielder, but in recent times he's a very deep lying holding midfielder.
He probably would be more of a shout than Xabi Alonso.
Yeah, I think exactly. I think if that era, he also redefined that role. Yeah.
Not as good as Xabi Alonso.
No. Maybe not. But in terms of it, I don't think so because I love Xabi Alonso. I think he's a terrific player. But you look at the return, Michael Carrick, 5 Premier Leagues. The only one who's got more than that, and people mentioned Roy Keane with 7.
And to be fair, Mourinho's team was going nowhere till he brought Carrick back.
Yeah. Michael Carrick, I'm not a massive fan of Michael Carrick because I think there was a little window in Premier League history where you could have a holding mid who was this cultured midfielder. Xabi Alonso did it. We had one last go with Gerrard at it in 13-14, and since then you need to have someone with a bit more bite. That's at its day. But you can't argue with the return of Michael Carrick, what he actually achieved. We'll leave it to the people watching, of course, because it's down to you what you want your team to look like. Do you want someone who's just a destroyer in the midfield? Do you want someone who can do that but do more as well? You know, the right decision, which would make it between Keane and Vieira, obviously.
Yeah, clearly.
Box to box.
Box to box.
So,
do a
Unfortunately, though, there's
category.
800,000 Arsenal fans watching this, so
Do
we're
a
fucked.
category.
So we'll put it forward then. So the 4 shouts that we're definitely going for, we're going for Claude Makelele. Yours was Roy Keane. Gilberto Silva, and I'll go for Patrick Vieira. And I'm going to throw the one more in, just to I think to appease the Man United fans watching, which you won't find me doing very often. But this is an all-round football show. I have the ability to rise
Roy
above
Keane
my
in
club allegiances.
Isn't it? Keane's in
And
it already.
I'm going to put Michael Carrick in as the 5th.
That appeases the West Ham fans.
Absolutely. And
Tottenham fans.
whoever, those 2 Ipswich, did they have them on loan?
Have
or
they got
something?
fans?
I don't know.
Yeah, true. They
Probably. So it's now all on you, Ball Street viewers. Who do you want as the all-time Premier League holding midfielder? Click the I in the corner of the screen. You can vote for yours. If you don't agree with any of the suggestions that we've put forward and you want to add
Watch
your own,
another
you can
fucking
do.
channel.
Watch.
You're a ham roll.
Yeah. Leave your thoughts in the comments below. Thank you very much for watching. If you want to watch any of the channels of the people present, you can do. Click Troops, click Toffee TV, or MLS Show. We probably won't put that one on there. Arsenal Fan TV, Man Like Robbie, Redman TV, Retro Football, etc., etc. And check back next week where we're going to be moving on to the one that everyone wants to talk about, the one that's going to make our picks make sense. It's attacking midfielders.